Just a little over 10 years ago, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft collectively spent just over $16 million on federal lobbying. Now, if you think that sounds like a lot, consider this. Last year, that number soared to a record $69 million. So what happened? Why did they quadruple their lobbying budgets in just over a decade? Well, let's start with Apple. It's the oldest of the big tech giants, which had almost zero federal lobbying presence in the 1990s. In fact, in 1998, the company had a grand total of 2 federal lobbyists and spent about $180,000. Amazon, founded in 1994, also paid practically no attention to Washington, D.C. More than a decade after the company was founded, Amazon was still spending less than $1 million a year on lobbying. Founded in 1998, Google stayed out of the game until 2006, having spent just $80,000 on federal lobbying in 2003. That same year, Facebook was founded, but until 2009, the company didn't spend anything on federal lobbying efforts. No, it's only within the past decade that the big tech giants stepped up their lobbying efforts in a major way. So, why the big change? What triggered this massive expenditure in federal lobbying dollars by a bunch of companies that not so long ago couldn't have cared less? And that story starts in 1998, when the Department of Justice leveled a major antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft over its decision to bundle its web browser, Internet Explorer, with the Windows operating system. The antitrust lawsuit alleged that this decision was made to try to crush Microsoft's competitor, Netscape. The lawsuit ended up dragging on for 2 years and nearly ended up with Microsoft being broken up into 2 companies by a federal judge. Now, prior to the antitrust case, Microsoft had spent virtually nothing on federal lobbying and paid practically zero attention to what was going on in D.C. But their dust up with federal regulators who were determined to break up the company changed all of that. So, why does big tech suddenly feel the need to hire armies of lobbyists and spend fortunes courting the favor of Washington, D.C.? Companies like Microsoft probably want to avoid a repeat of the 1990s antitrust lawsuit that nearly destroyed them, while other companies like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Google want to rewrite tech and internet laws in order to entrench themselves and to protect their position as the dominant social media giants. The big tech companies are spending so much money in D.C. because ultimately, it doesn't matter how good your product is or how well you serve your customers if politicians and regulators can come up and break up your business if you're not paying them enough attention. And there are really 2 ways that these companies are incentivized to cozy up to Washington. One is to protect themselves against regulations that could destroy their business. The other is to use the regulations and the political process to destroy their competition. And there's a lot of lobbyists getting rich in the process. How bad is it? Well, it turns out that most of the richest counties in America are conveniently located just a stone's throw from Washington, D.C. And you can learn more about that by clicking right here. I'm Nick Freitas with the Wine Minutes, and thank you for watching.